Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is the next video in the document understanding series with UiPath. In the first video of the playlist, we have already seen what exactly is document understanding, why it is important, what are the different kind of documents, and how do we get started with document understanding, right? In case you haven't already seen the previous video, I would request you to watch the previous video, then only the stages video would make more sense. Today, in this video, we are going to discuss more about the stages of the document understanding, what are the dependencies, how do we get started technically, all of that we are going to discuss in this video. Before directly jumping to the topic, in case you are coming to the channel for the first time and you haven't already subscribed, please consider subscribing to the channel so that you get the latest videos on time, and that will also help me to grow my YouTube channel. Having said that, let's get started. Okay, so I want to start by giving you a quick recap which we have already seen in the first video, so not spending much time here. We have seen that we have three kinds of document: structured, semi-structured and unstructured. And we have also seen the differences, right? So we have three kinds of documents: structured, semi-structured and unstructured. In the last video, we have also defined what is document understanding. That is the ability to extract and interpret the information from all the kind of documents: structured, semi-structured and unstructured. And we have seen that yes, it is a combination of RPA, AI and document processing, right? All of that we have already explained in the video 1. Also, important thing to get started with DU is that you as a developer should understand what are the problems which are there and how document understanding is able to resolve them, right? So these are the list of problems and these are the solutions which the DU is solving. We have discussed that in detail in the previous video, so not spending much time here. That was just a quick recap for the video 1. Okay, now today we are going to start with the same topic but more in a technical. What exactly is a document understanding? So we have seen that it is the ability to extract and interpret the information, right? Now if I talk technically, in case we want to do a UiPath document understanding, the studio version which you would require is 20.4 minimum. When I say 20.4, that means the year is 2020 and the version is April. Okay, the second thing you would require is the intelligent OCR package. I'll show you by that what do I mean by intelligent OCR package, but keep in mind that you would need an intelligent OCR package to get started with the document understanding project. Okay, and now as in the first video, I have explained you what is the difference between a rule based and the model based approach. Document understanding combines both the rule based and the model based approach. Okay, now where exactly can I start with document understanding? So for that, let me just go back to my UiPath Studio. Okay, so I am back into my UiPath Studio and I am in the version of 2024.2. I'll go here and I'll create a new process. Okay, and this is the same process guys which I am going to continue in this complete playlist, right? So I would request you guys also to follow along with me so that when at the end we both all have the same kind of processes, right? So I'll go here and I'll create a new process and I'll call this as my DU underscore process. Okay, and I'll just put my channel name here for the recognition here, right? So I'll say DU process underscore TBMK tutorials by Mukeshkala. That is my channel name, and I'll just mention a description that this is the blank DU process. Okay, we'll leave everything to the default settings and we'll just go here and hit this button which is the create. Okay, so now we have created a plain sequence, nothing DU till this point. So we'll just wait for the solution to load. Once the solution is ready, the first thing is you should notice the top ribbon of the UiPath Studio, right? You have this new save, export, manage, record options and all of this, right? But you do not have anything here which is related to document understanding. And why that is? Because we haven't told this project that hey, you have to be a document understanding project. Okay, so step 1, as we have discussed, that we need to import the dependencies, right? So what exactly are the dependencies? People who are an experienced RPA developer, you guys would understand that dependencies give you the activities. So today I want to do an Excel automation. I have the Excel dependencies. Email automation, you have the mail dependency, and so on and so forth, right? Similarly, if you want activities which can do the document understanding, you need to include the dependencies, and by default these dependencies are not loaded, right? Because this guy does not understand that I am a DU project, right? How do we do that? You go to the dependencies, right click on it and say manage. And if you remember, I told you that you need to have the intelligent OCR dependencies added to the project, right? So I'll go to all packages and I'll just search here UiPath dot intelligent, okay, and then you should get this one, UiPath dot intelligent OCR activities by UiPath, right? So this is an activity which is available for document understanding. So installing the package version requires upgrading all the other document packages to the latest version in case you are already installed, right? So this is the package, guys, we need to install. So you just go here, click on install and just say save, right? Now keep an eye on the top ribbon, right? You do not see anything for the document understanding. As soon as you install this package, you would get new wizard. As you can see now at the top, after the table extraction, I have something which is called the taxonomy manager, and this taxonomy manager is responsible for creating a taxonomy for the document understanding, right? So that we will see in a step-by-step manner. But the first change which you see here is you got this one, which is the taxonomy manager, right? So the other thing is, if you go to the activities and you see here, you have something which is the app integration. Open it and then you would have a section which is called document understanding. Expand it again and you would see all the activities for the document understanding, right? So we'll explore one by one when the time comes, but this is just to let you guys know that where actually can you find the activities and how you can see that whether it is loaded properly or not. Okay, so these activities are classify, export, extraction, you have some actions, you have some classifiers, you have some extractor, all of that in a step-by-step manner, right? So these activities are coming because we have installed the package which was the UiPath.intelligent OCR activities, right? Now for every document understanding project, the first thing we need to do is click on this guy which is the taxonomy manager. So let me go here and click on this guy which is the taxonomy manager, and that should launch the taxonomy manager ideally, right? However, you are seeing that I am getting an error which says that hey Mukesh, you need to install some missing .NET framework. Okay, this error might come to you or might not come to you, right? In case you are facing this issue, right, so you need to install the .NET version. You can simply click on yes, and technically it should ideally go to the .NET portal and download the dependency for you, and you just need to restart it, right? In case that does not work for you, you need to manually go and download the .NET packages, right? So all of those steps I have already defined in this video, right? So this is a video where I am trying to solve this problem in a step-by-step manner. You can follow that and you would be able to resolve it. Okay, so communication has stopped responding and it has ended unexpectedly, right? So I'll say okay. The next thing is, if you want to work on it once you install the .NET version after watching that video, you just go to the project and you can just downgrade the intelligent OCR version, right? Because this is the activity package which is giving you the taxonomy manager. So in case you are facing this issue, just right click on it, go to manage, okay, and from here I was using something very latest and I am in the community edition. That might be the issue. So I'll go here and I'll select something like 6.5.0 and I'll just say update and I'll just say save. Okay, so now what we have done is, it might be because of the intelligent OCR package, so I have just downgraded the activity version and not using the something very latest. Okay, this might be the issue you may face, so just keep in mind. Okay, so we'll just wait for the dependency to load again. Okay, and yes, I am in the 6.5.0, and now if I go to the taxonomy manager, awesome, I am able to open the taxonomy manager where we can define all these stuffs, right? So now two things which we have done. The first thing is, to get started with the document understanding project, you need to have this intelligent OCR package, and to see if it is working, you can just click on this button, taxonomy manager. In case that does not open, just go and downgrade the dependency version and it should work. Okay. So this was the step 1 for the document understanding, and also we have seen that all these activities for document understanding are available inside the installed app integration, and here you have the document understanding where you see all these activities. Okay. Coming back to the presentation now, right? So whenever we talk about the document understanding, I just told you guys that first we need to click on the taxonomy manager. That means there is a term which is called taxonomy, right? But what exactly is that, and how do we get start with that, right? So we'll go everything in a step-by-step manner. So what you are seeing on the screen on the lower hand side, this is the life cycle, I would say, of the document understanding project. These are the stages: taxonomy, digitize, classify, extract, validate, export, and train. So these are the stages. Okay. So installation and activity, this we have already seen that we just need to have this package installed, which is the UiPath.intelligent OCR activities. Once you have successfully installed this package, right, I show you a lot of activities, right? But now let me just give you a brief of all the activities which you will get and what are its function. Okay. So the first thing you will get is the taxonomy manager, which we have just seen by downgrading the dependencies, right? So taxonomy manager is a place where you are going to tell document understanding that what is the data I want to extract. That's it, right? You are going to define the structure for that. Next thing, whatever you have defined, you need to load it. So that's why you have an activity which is called load the taxonomy. Then, as I was talking about, once you have loaded the taxonomy, you don't know, right, whether the activity is a scanned PDF, it's a native PDF. So we need to digitize. Once it is digitized, the next step 4 is the classification. You need to classify whether it is a passport, whether it is a receipt or what, right? So all of that classification happens in the classify. And all of this, whatever you see on the screenshot, right, these are the activities, guys, right? And then you have this activity which is the configure classifier wizard, where you just classify the document and you establish a confidence score for each of them. Next, you have to extract the data. So you have data extraction scope, then you can configure the extractor also. Then you have the present validation status, present validation station, which simply means including humans in the loop, so that they can confirm whether the extracted output is correct or not, right? So all 8, 9, and then you have the validation station, and then you have the export. So all of these 10, 11 activities, whichever I have shown you, these are available post the installation of that activity package, and these actually align to the complete stages of the document understanding framework. Now that we have installed the dependencies, I got all the different components. The first thing as a developer we should understand is how these components are related and when do I use what. Before having the practical implementation of the document understanding framework, you should be aware of how these components are related and whether you require to use that component or not. So next in this video, I am going to explain you that how these components are related. Okay. So the first thing, as we have told, it starts with something which is called load the taxonomy. So you have to define what type of document it is and what are the fields you want to extract, because UiPath robot does not understand whether it's a passport. If it is a passport, what details you require. If it is a receipt, what details you require, right? So first, in document understanding, you load the taxonomy. Okay. After you have loaded the taxonomy, now the document which you provided, UiPath does not know whether it is a scanned PDF, it is a native PDF, or what it is, right? So that means that you have to make it in a form that the machine can read. And when I say machine, I simply mean the UiPath robot. So taxonomy done, then you digitize it. Why do we digitize? To obtain a machine readable format. Simply meaning, if I just provide a scanned PDF, right? So I need to introduce OCR. All of that happens in the digitization. So we have loaded the taxonomy, we have digitized. Now in the next step there is something which is classify. Now classify means if I have a folder, imagine a use case where you have a folder and in that folder you have different files. One is the passport, one is a receipt, one is a contract, one is, let's say, an input form. So that means now the document understanding framework needs to understand that what kind of document it is, whether it is able to classify it or not properly. And that's why, because it is classifying, the first stage is it should know, right, that whether it is digitized or not, because if it is not able to read, how it would be able to classify, right? So that's why load the taxonomy, digitize and classification. Now it is able to classify. Okay, yes, this is a passport, yes, this is a receipt. Now here there might be two routes. If it is able to classify it properly, that yes, I understand that yes, this is a passport, and I know from the taxonomy that from the passport I need the first name, last name and the country, right? So you see that tick mark, that means that yes, it is able to classify, it has the taxonomy. So UiPath document understanding will now go to extraction of that information. But now there can be other situation where it is not able to classify the document. So what that happens? It means that it is not confident to say that hey, the document which you provided is a passport. Now in that case, we would require somebody to validate, and that somebody is a human validation, which means that the robot will create an action, or the robot will simply open a form for the human and say that hey, Mr. Human, I am not able to classify this document, can you help me to validate? Okay, so I am a human, I can do that better, right? So I just go and I say that yes, you are correct, it is an invoice, or yes, you are correct, it is a passport. As soon as I validated, right? So ideally what should happen? The robot should understand and the robot should be trained that next time if you get the same invoice, you do not ask me the same question again, right? So what we do is we basically train the classifier. Please focus here, train the classifier. Okay, so the human has validated and the classifier, it says that yes, this is a passport. Now I am training the classifier because I do not want to validate the same document again and again. And after I train the same data, the trained classifier is again going to the classify, and then it is able to classify, and then it follows the route of the extraction, right? So this is a training loop which is available in the classification, and I hope you guys understand that. Okay, and once the classification is done, it will again go to the extraction, right? So now the end stage after classification is the extraction only, but it can be in two ways. One is that it is able to properly classify, it directly moves to the extraction. The second is it is not able to classify properly, so that's why we include a human validation, we train the classifier, and then we again move to the extraction. Okay, so I hope you guys are with me till this point. Now when I am doing the extraction here, if everything is okay, right, I am able to extract all the information. So I need the first name, last name and the passport number. Now if I am able to get the first name, last name, passport number in the extraction, everything well and good, I'll simply go and export the data maybe to an Excel to simplify, right? So I put the data in an Excel, exported successfully. But what happens if I am not able to extract the information, or the robot is not able to extract the information? Then the same thing, you are correct, we will include a human now. Same like in the classification, I included a human to validate whether to classify the documents. Here I will include a human to validate the extraction result. Now the validation can be of improper data, right, where let's say the robot was supposed to extract the first name and it extracted a name, but it is not sure whether it is a name. So that's mean I need a extraction result validation. Now the second thing can be improper data, the robot is not able to find the passport number, it's located at somewhere else. So that means I need a human validation there. What would happen? The human will come, it will validate the result, and important thing, we have to again train the extractor. Same like I trained the classifier, this time I am training the extractor. The reason is simple, because if there is a new document which is having the same problem, I don't want to include the human again and again, right? And as soon as the data is extracted, we train the extractor, and then it again go for the export as the usual route, right? So these are the total components which are available in the UiPath document understanding framework, right? Now depending on how the robot behaves and depending on the output what actually we get during the process, it can have different routes, right? But to start with, you need to have a clear understanding, right, that what would happen at what stage, right? I would like you guys to take a pause, okay, go through all these definitions one by one, okay, take some time, because in the next video what we are going to do is we are going to go into each and every stages, right? So if sometime I say that okay, now we are doing the classification, validation, classification, and now we are training the classifiers, right? So you should not feel alien. So please take some time to digest these components and how do they work together, right? And I'll see you in the next video where we are going to see more into the practical implementation of the document understanding. Okay, so that is all I wanted to cover in this video. I hope you guys are now getting a little comfortable with the UiPath document understanding. If that is the case, just let me know in the comments about your feedback, right? If there is anything I want to change, please let me know in the comments. That will help me to accommodate the feedbacks in the upcoming videos. Okay, and in case you like this video and it is up your expectation, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, share it to the friends, and see you in the next video. Thank you for watching and happy automation.